basketball tips for smaller players. I'm Coach Sam, I'm your basketball trainer and shooting coach, and by the end of this video, you will have 8 tips to help you as a smaller player. And if you stay till the very end, I've got a bonus tip for you. Tip number 1 is to have a lower center of gravity. And this is for a few different reasons. When you are dribbling the ball and you're working on going past the guy that's guarding you, you want to have a lower center of gravity so that it's harder to defend you, it's harder to stay in front. Think about getting your shoulder below or even with his hip. So as I make my move and I go to attack, I'm low. My knees are bent and I've got a lower center of gravity. Next, by having a lower center of gravity, it's going to be harder for them to steal the ball. If you are dribbling the ball up higher, your control of the ball is not going to be as efficient and effective. So we want to be low so that our drives are good and they're effective, and then we also want to dribble the ball low so that it doesn't get stolen from the guy that's guarding us or from the help defender. Tip number 2 is that you need to have a very quick first step, and this can be done in a triple threat position and then also off of the dribble. As a left-handed player, my right foot is my pivot foot, so I need to be very good at getting low like we talked about, and then really using our driving foot to blow by the defender. After I get great at my first step going to my strong hand, this will now set up my jab going to my weak hand. Now I'm going to fake this way and I'm coming to my right hand. Now you've got what I call the double jab, or also known as the jimmy shimmy. And we are going to act like we are going to jab, but we're coming back to our strong hand. So it's 1, 2, 3. You need that initial burst to blow by your defender and to gain an advantage when attacking. So we want to have a great first step, especially off of the catch in a triple threat position. Okay, tip number 3, these all kind of go together, is going to be your change of pace, change of direction. So as a smaller player especially, you cannot go one speed the entire time. One of my favorite drills to develop a change of pace, change of speed, while also working on your ball handling is what I call my stick series. In order to do this, we are going to plant our outside foot into the ground and then we're changing direction. I'm going to show it slow so you can see what we're doing, and then I want you to really work on it going at a faster pace once you get good at it. And then we can do a variety of moves from between the legs, behind the back, combination moves where we do in and out, cross, between, behind. Get creative with your moves with the stick series. The key is to plant your outside foot, go from a 8 or 9 speed, stopping on a dime, and then going and changing your pace and speeding it back up again. And even if you go in the same direction, change up your pace, change up your speed. So if I blow by my defender using tip number 2 with a quick first step, he might be sprinting to cut us off and anticipating a change of direction. So sometimes it's good to blow by him, pause, and go the same direction. That's going to get the defender to pause himself, and now you're able to blow by him again with another quick first step. So change of pace and usually change of direction is a key element as a smaller player to really maximize your ability. Tip number 4 is you need to become a great shooter. Not a good shooter, a great shooter. You are already at a disadvantage being a smaller player because you're not going to be able to score inside as much as bigger, taller players. So you need to become a great shooter from the outside. First, one-handed shooting in front of the rim. It's a 3-step process. Number 1 is straight out, 2 is locked and loaded, and then 3, we are shooting it at the rim, working on not bringing it behind our head and extending our legs as we are flicking our wrist. Do one-handed shooting every single day to warm up, work on swishing it every single time. The next shooting drill is what I call side backboard shooting. We are simply working on hitting the middle of the side of the backboard. If you do that perfectly, it'll come right back to you. If you don't, you'll notice it because it doesn't come back to you. A little bit left. A little bit right. Perfect. So work on it perfectly hitting the middle of the side of the backboard and coming directly back to you. Next, I want you to work on spinning the ball to yourself and being ready to shoot. Shot preparation is extremely important to everybody, but especially you as a smaller player. You don't have as much time to catch, gather, and work on getting your shot off because you're smaller and they will block your shot quicker. Instead, you need to have your legs bent, your shooting foot back, and then your arms up so that when the ball comes to you, you are locked and loaded, ready to shoot. Shot preparation is extremely important as a smaller player. So work on spinning the ball to yourself, being in a locked and loaded position so that you're able to get your shot off quickly. Number 5, you need to be a dog on defense. Not a okay defender, not sometimes you play hard. You need to be a complete dog. This means, if possible, pick up your defender 94 feet. Turn them as many times as possible. Off the ball, you need to be seeing both man and ball, and you need to be getting steals by being quick in the passing lane. You need to be guarding the ball, having active hands so that you can get steals while guarding the ball. And you need to keep your man in front of you and contest every single shot. In the post, you need to be a guy that battles in there. You need to be somebody that is very scrappy. When those bigs are putting the ball on the ground, you're getting in there, you're getting a hand on the ball. You're getting loose balls. This is very, very important so that when it comes game time, the coach is worried about, oh, is so-and-so too small for this team? He's gonna know that although you might be a smaller player, you don't give it up defensively. You're one of the toughest guys defensively. You're somebody that's gonna get in there, grind against the taller guys. You're scrappy, you get loose balls, you get steals. You keep the guys in front of you, and you contest every single shot. If you are a smaller player, you have to be a dog on defense. Hang on, before we move on, I want to remind you guys about the launch of the individual personal training Facebook group. Here's what you get by joining the group. I've got a 100-page document of tons of shooting drills that you can apply to yourself right away. You will be able to upload your videos, and I will give you my breakdown and my feedback for you to become a better shooter. Next, we will have a weekly question and answer section. I will go live on there, and you can come on there and you can ask any questions. Hit the link below to join. Tip number 6 is you need to become a crafty, creative finisher around the basket. If you can only do a standard 1-2 layup, and that's the only type of finishes that you have in your bag, you're going to really struggle as you go against taller players. You need a variety of finishes and ways to score when you do get to the basket to score over taller players. Here's some tips for you guys. Number 1, develop a floater. High off the glass. You can work on overhand, you can work on underhand. Work on a wrong leg layup. Instead of my left leg being in the air, I'm going off the wrong leg. You can do it quick, you can do a double clutch, wrong leg. Work on Euro step. Faking one direction, then coming the other direction. Two-footed finishes. Very important, especially if you are a smaller player. You don't always want to go off of 1 foot. You need to be getting in the paint, going off of 2 feet, so that you have options if you don't like your initial look. I've got a video that I just posted that talks about two-footed finishing in depth. So when you get in here, left, right, I'm facing the corner here. I can go off 2 feet here, I can turn around and shoot it, and I can step through. Work on a variety of finishes. You need to be creative with your finishes. You need to be great with your strong hand and your offhand so that you have the ability to go both directions and double all of your opportunities to score at the rim. Number 7 is developing mental and physical toughness. First, let's talk about mental. You need to be a tough player mentally. When the coach gets on you, you don't take it personal. When things go wrong in the game, you think about the next play. You don't dwell on bad things that happen. You think about what do we need to do to make it right after that. You're a good teammate. You're always high-fiving your teammates. You're not somebody that's negative. From a physical standpoint, you have physical toughness. You're somebody that's strong with the ball. You don't get the ball taken away from you easily. You are physically tough when it comes to rebounding the ball on both sides of the ball. You are somebody that is physically tough throughout all the drills that you are doing. You take charges. You dive on the ball. You don't let little screens affect you. Being physically and mentally tough is extremely important as a smaller player. And the 8th and final tip for the bonus is going to be that you need to be somebody that studies the game. You're a smaller player. You most likely might be playing a lot of point guard, especially when you're younger. You need to be the smartest player on the court at all times. Know what you're doing offensively, know what you're doing defensively. You should know your role. You should know all of your teammates' roles. When your coach is designing a play, you should know the positions 1 through 5. You should be able to go out there and correct somebody and put them in the right place. Study film. If you're old enough and you have film available, be somebody that is always studying film of yourself and your opponents. What are the tendencies that the player you're going to be guarding does most often? Are they a shooter? Are they a driver? What are the main plays that they're going to be running? Studying the game and being a very smart, intelligent player is going to be a huge tip for you to become the best player that you can become. Okay, as promised, our bonus tip for you is going to have to do with your passing ability. If you are a smaller player, you might not always be the top scorer on your team, and even if you are, being a great passer is going to be very, very important as you move up to higher and higher levels. Be a player that focuses on making the extra pass. Maybe you're open, but a quick one more to the guy next to you creates a better pass. If your coach knows that you're an unselfish player who's going to make the right play and the right pass, that's going to really help you to get more playing time and to advance overall in your playing career. But even off the dribble, making passes, you need to have your head up at all times so that you can see the floor. You can see what's going on and anticipate. Anticipation as a player and a passer is very important. The next thing I want to talk about is passing the ball ahead. So when you get it, you're a guard, maybe you're often the point guard, you need to catch it and immediately look up. The ball always moves faster from the pass more so than the dribble. So if you can get it and work on advancing the ball right when you get it, that's going to make you a better player. It's going to allow your team to play at a lot faster pace. It's going to help your overall ability to play more in the game. If you've learned anything in this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button right now. I post videos every single week. My goal on this channel is to help you to become the best player that you can become. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.